Hi, everyone. I am Julie Roth Novack, the CEO and co-founder of PartySlate. I'm very excited to host our first PartySlate Master Class. No, I'm not copying Master Class, the company Master Class, but Master Class meaning every month we're going to do a workshop on how you can best market your business on PartySlate. We're going to share new features and functions. We're going to tell you new ways you can take advantage of our content marketing and SEO engine. And so this is kind of our first of the series. So hopefully it goes well, and each one will get better and better. But today I am honored to be with the one and only Nicole. Many of you know her. She's been with PartySlate since, I think you were employee number 6 or 7 or 8. I don't even know.
Yeah, number 8.
But Nicole, number 8. Nicole runs our B2B marketing team. So you may have gotten an email from Nicole over time. She's helped build free profiles. She's helped people learn more about PartySlate. She's helped with our launch events. She's done customer success. I think you've done almost every role in the company, Nicole.
Yep, just about.
Glad to have you. Yeah. And then Chhavi is our talented product director of product. And she is the one that filters all the feedback from our user research, from you guys, our customer success team, and actually works with the tech team to decide what we're building next. So I have a hint for you. If you want something built on PartySlate, this is the time in the chat to say what features you want to build. Right, Chhavi?
Yeah.
So I know Chhavi always says we never have a shortage of ideas here at PartySlate. So yeah, everyone feel free to use the chat room, and you can change it to all panelists and attendees. Feel free to give a shout out where you're from. We have people from all over the country and some overseas that are joining today, so welcome. For those of you who don't know PartySlate, today I'm going to share a little story about how the idea came up. It was only a 15-year idea in the making, overnight, but it's something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and actually 5 years ago got the courage to leave my job and start PartySlate. And so I'm going to talk about our founding story, and then we're going to walk through how PartySlate works. And again, some of this will be a refresher for many of you. And then I'm really excited to do a live demo. It's always a little nerve-wracking to do a live demo. So Nicole will be taking on that challenge of actually walking through how to build a profile page and how to optimize and add events. And so if anyone has any questions along the way, Chhavi and I are going to be tag teaming on how that works. And then at the end, we're going to talk a little bit about what's next, and we'd love your ideas for upcoming master classes. So we're going to do this once a month. We're going to record all of these, and I know many of you have asked for this type of session, so we're glad that we're finally delivering on that. So again, everyone, feel free to ask questions. Chhavi, you will be our moderator, making sure that when people have questions, you can jump in at any time. And then Nicole, during our session while you're building, we'll be moderating the chat and taking you from there. So thank you everyone for joining us. I am going to share my screen now and walk through kind of the presentation. Great. So just to get started, I told you about the agenda. We're going to walk through how PartySlate works, profile best practices. I'm actually going to show you an easy way to score your profile. Again, if you're a premium member, our customer success team will do this with you, but it's a very easy way to see, is your profile complete and will it actually be maximized in our algorithm? And then we're going to talk about what's next. So founding story, and for those of you who've heard this probably too many times, I apologize, but I'll say it one more time. I have over 20 years of digital marketing, digital agency background, working with some of the biggest brands in the world. And I've always loved events since I think my first event in 7th grade that I had. And I love the power of how events can connect people and can inspire people, whether it's a corporate event, a fundraiser, or just a social event, a milestone birthday. And after planning over my 20-year kind of career in the digital agency world, probably close to 50 large-scale events, so sales incentive trips. We had a lot of client employee events, and then we also had a lot of fundraisers. I really couldn't find what I was looking for. There are a lot of really nice wedding blogs, but I was looking for this really great inspiration for this cancer research charity that I was hosting. We raise 80% of our funding for the charity in a single night. And those people, if they like the event, they come back the following year. So there's a lot riding on these events. And so I kept thinking about, why isn't there a better way to get inspired and find amazing venues and caterers? And then I redesigned a kitchen you might be asking, why am I sharing that part of the story? I used a website called Houzz, Houzz. You can share in the chat if you know and like Houzz. I love Houzz. And I'm like, this is amazing. Not the e-commerce piece in the early days, but how landscape architects and interior designers could share their work, and how I, as a consumer, could find any kitchen idea that I was ever looking for and then find those kitchen designers. And that's when it really hit me and gave me the confidence to put a business plan together for PartySlate. And again, 3 or 4 short years after that, quit my job to actually do it. So that's really how the idea came in to be. And the first thing I did is research the pain point. So I was a party host, not an event professional. And my pain points were, it was hard to research all these new ideas and find local event professionals. It was very disjointed. I kept finding Pinterest dead ends. It wasn't curated. And then the only websites are, some of them are nice, but I couldn't find my corporate ideas, bar bat mitzvahs, other ideas. And then when I started talking to event professionals, starting with the people that planned my own wedding, Four Seasons Chicago, they have very little time for digital marketing. I remember someone saying, like, I think our photos are on the S drive. And I'm like, you mean you don't have a way to store all your photos? And again, that was only 6 years ago. So a lot has changed, but there's still so much to do in the industry. And there's very little time to update your website, get your digital marketing in order. And also the directory sites, like Yelp and others and Thumbtack, really commoditize your services. And we know that this is such a creative industry, and your photos and your videos are really kind of marketing gold. And I did notice, not all of you, especially photographers, are good at this, but most of you didn't have a very easy system to organize and archive and publish your photos on a consistent basis. And although I love Instagram, it's really more of a social media network and it's a great engagement tool, this is more of a portfolio approach. And so what we did is, we really created a two-sided, we call it a marketplace, called PartySlate. And for consumers, they can get inspired and find the best event professionals and venues all in one place. And for event companies, which are event professionals and venues, you can share your work, build your brand, connect with your network, and grow your business, and really become a digital marketer in minutes. And so this is what we're going to go through today, is what are those things that you can do on PartySlate. And many people ask me, like, how are you different from the Knot, wedding wear, carrots and cake, even some people have asked about BizBash or Pinterest. There's really 5 main things that are different with PartySlate. One, it's very curated content. So when you come into our wedding gallery, consumers can't post. So unlike Pinterest, it's only event professionals that have been approved. Nicole is actually our approver, so get in good with Nicole, of who can share their photos. And then, it's professional photos only. So there's no iPhone photos, blurry photos. And then editorial really hand selects the best content that comes in for our best of section. So it's a very curated experience. Also, I think one of the things I've heard from our community is this networked crediting system really makes sure that there's clear attribution. So every event album you go into has clear linkable credits. And if the credit doesn't link, for example, in this photo image I'm showing here, the only reason that one doesn't link is they don't yet have a profile page on PartySlate. And once they get credited, Nicole will invite them to create a free profile, so all of the links are activated. And then also, we've extended all of your amazing, I like to call it friend door relationships. This is the most networked industry I've ever worked in. Part of the reason why I love it so much, so many close relationships. Now you can actually show these relationships. And anytime someone credits you or you credit them, when you upload an album, you will show up in the event professionals and venues that you've worked with, which again is very popular with our visitors, our consumers. Finally, or I guess third, no dead end links. I can't tell you how many times I see a gorgeous photo like on Google or Pinterest and you don't know where it is. Is it a real image? Everything is linked back to your profile pages. And so you can always find the full credits. And then you can also see more photos from that album. It's beautifully simple. I will say our design team and user experience team is so incredible. From my digital agency days, we've recruited the best talent. We're based in Chicago here. You will not see ads, spam links, clutter, no blurry photos. It's very, very specific and curated for the events industry. And then finally, the topic of this masterclass is the content-rich profile. And instead of talking a lot about it here, I'm actually going to show a real profile page. But this is really where all of your content, you have it in Dropboxes, you have it all over. You can actually put all your content here and put it to work for you, not only to build your brand with consumers, but also to strengthen the relationships that you already have in the industry. So now I'm going to jump into the demo section and I go through how PartySlate works. And again, is there any questions, Chhavi? I lost my chat view, so I can't see the chat.
No questions right now. I'm sure there will be as you kind of.
Okay, please ask questions as we go along. So as far as I'm going to talk about how PartySlate works, profile best practices. Nicole's going to do how to build a profile because she's better at it than I am. And then we're going to talk about scoring your profile. So just to go in a quick snapshot of PartySlate, and again, can you guys see my screen? Yes, okay, good. So when you come to PartySlate, really we take you through, a value proposition of what you can do, get inspired. We now have over 800,000 photos, browse real events, see who's worked at each event, each venue, and with each professional, and discover what you love and save. A lot of people jump right to their event type, so wedding, virtual events. We just added corporate events, bar and bat mitzvahs. You can also see recently added albums. So these are things our editors are looking for, and as they come in, they're automatically put on the homepage, which we get a lot of traffic to. Our top articles, and then we also show our really most engaged with Instagram feed. And then of course you can go down from here. And so just to show you kind of how it works, a lot of times people come into real events and let's say they're planning a wedding. You can come here and see a beautiful curated experience. This is, again, a compliment to what other inspiration platforms are doing, like Instagram, but unlike Instagram, this is the full view and all the credits. And so you could put, let's say, New York. Oops, I spelled that wrong. See why I don't like to type live in front of people? Okay, so I'm putting in New York. So this is all amazing new weddings that have been posted. Again, they don't even have to be new. It could be from a year ago, but it was recently posted to PartySlate. And when you see something you love, you can click into it and see the full event. And again, this is where you see all of the credits on the left and you can see the storytelling of the event. And our goal is to drive everyone back to your profile pages so that they can contact you and message you directly. We are not a platform that takes a cut or pay for leads. We're a pure marketing platform. How we make money is through premium membership. So roughly about 10% of our members pay for an elevated presence and our white glove service that actually a managed relationship. So this is really the main goal is getting people inspired. And then again, when you're looking for an event planner, you can come here and let's say you want to click on Michelle Deberry. I have Chicago selected, and then you can see her profile page. And so the profile pages, again, are really the core in addition to the best of how we drive traffic to the site. So the best of section, you guys get our newsletter. You see we have articles from everything from, we do a lot of things on current events. We do our fireside chats, but also, really great wedding ideas, corporate ideas, the best rooftops in different cities. So we really are a content marketing engine. Everything we do is SEO optimized, mobile optimized. And so that's how we drive traffic. And so I'm going to really quickly walk you through 2 profile pages. And Nicole and Chhavi, please jump in because we have a lot of new exciting things. For Sterling social event experiences, this is an amazing event professional in Los Angeles. You'll notice that this profile has 5 cover photos. So for our premium members, for our free profile, you can have 1. For premium, you can have up to 5. I know, Chhavi, that's something you found in our research, right? That was exciting to people.
Yeah, both from the event professional side, people were really excited to be able to highlight more of their portfolio. One still image doesn't really get to cover everything you want to do. And of course, from a consumer side, when they're landing on their profile, they want to be able to see, oh, you can do weddings, you can do corporate, you can do mitzvahs, like your entire portfolio through 5 of your favorite photos can all be highlighted on top now.
Awesome. Looks like some good celebrity events. I might want to go to these. Okay. So then you have your PartySlate Insight, which is also premium only for the free profile, all profiles. You have an overview. And Chhavi, why don't you tell about this new announcement feature that we just added?
Yeah, so this came up. We did a few surveys and a few rounds of research trying to gather what additional pieces of content we can add to your profile. So I might have spoken to a few of you, or you might have gotten surveys from me over the last couple months. But something that came up was now, especially during COVID and even after COVID as well, people want to be able to highlight what's up and coming with their businesses. Some businesses are, offering new services or trying new things, and they want to let their consumers know this is happening. And even outside of COVID, people want to be able to highlight promotions or, hour changings or whatever, safety precautions, health and safety precautions, etc. Anything they want to let their consumers know or clients know about, they can now highlight here and set an expiration date. So it's only there for a temporary amount of time and then it'll go away. So it's a great feature we're really excited about.
Awesome. And then as we go down here, you can list all of your recognitions. These are all linkable for everybody. So you can link out to, if you have a feature on BizBash or Vogue, we want this to be a great place to really build your brand and show people that your work has been published in other places. We have your visit website, call. Obviously for mobile, it's easier to click to call, but they can also just reveal your website or your phone number here. And then we have your Facebook. You decide which social icons that you want to display. So again, we're just really trying to be a one-stop shop for you. And then one thing I'll say on the gallery section, this is really great opportunity to share all your work. So you can see weddings, rehearsal dinners, kids' birthdays, cocktail parties. In our user research, we've shown people first want to look at the type of event they are planning, but then they also like to look at other types of events you've done. And so I know some of you said, oh, I want to separate my corporate and wedding work. And I understand if you're doing heavy duty, large scale corporate events that you don't want to show all wedding. I understand that, but our research has actually shown that they like to look at all the different types of events, which is great. And then if you look at the video gallery here, it's really super easy to add a link from YouTube or Vimeo. This is also a highly engaged section of the site. So one thing I forgot to show on the real events section is you can also get credited events on your profile page. So when someone credits you, let's say a photographer you work with a lot or a venue you work with a lot, okay, they have a lot of photo albums. I'm going to keep clicking. So you can see here at the bottom, it says credited by Ritz-Carlton, Santa Barbara. So that means that Ritz-Carlton Santa Barbara posted this and credited them. It's just another great way to show your network. So free profiles get up to 3 credited events included. And if you're a premium member, you can have unlimited credited events. So we have some people that have 20, 40, 60 credited events, which is really exciting. This is another one, Chhavi, I'm excited, that just launched last week. Do you want to talk a little bit about frequently asked questions?
Yeah, so this is also really fun that we have, you know, from a consumer side, they want to be able to kind of quickly get more information about your business. Often we heard from you guys that, you know, there's common questions that you always get asked. And if you can add that to your profiles, sometimes it can make your consumers more educated before they reach out to you and really help kind of filter out and get you really, really qualified leads. And so what we did on our side is for a lot of our main categories, so for event planners, caterers, photographers, et cetera, we actually did a lot of SEO research and we talked to consumers. And so we picked top questions that we have in a dropdown that you can select, just that you should try to answer on your profile that consumers really want to know. And if there's questions that are not there, you can actually enter your own as well. And so we recommend having, you know, at least 5, 10 is great. Frequently asked questions added to your profiles. And this is included for all profiles. So you should definitely, if you have a profile on PartySlate, highly encourage you to go ahead and add that in.
And then this is another, yeah, and you guys, the product team, shout out every 2 weeks, they're launching new features and functions. So we keep adding new things to the profile page. And our goal is, and we feel we are a best in class profile page for the industry, really, not just in the United States, but in the world. And we want everyone to be so inspired by the content that they contact you through PartySlate. So again,
before you jump into the next section, we had some questions about the real events. So how do people get their events to show up in those feeds for the different types of events?
So for the real event section?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for real events, we have an algorithm that automatically goes through the system and picks events to go into those sections. So we rotate premium member events first, so they're labeled as featured. And then after that, we call it organic profiles or the free profiles. We pull in anything relevant. So for example, if it's a 40th birthday party category or a kid's birthday, first we list, again, we want to really thank and appreciate our premium members because that's how we can continue to offer this to the industry. So we put those first. And then after that, we put just other relevant events that our algorithm picks up. Cool. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, I think so. And then also for the photo section, I know we haven't touched on that a lot, but just how we select those photos in that process.
Yeah, so when you look at the photo section, so let's say I'm looking for, I'm planning a big corporate event and I really want something special like centerpieces and tablescapes. This is hand-picked right now. We are going to update this section by our editorial team. And again, we look at profiles across the board, both free and premium. And we look for highly engaged photos, so people that are saving these photos, people that are engaging with them, that's usually an indication that they're a really great photo. So, I mean, oh, this is one of my favorite. So this is what happens when I go through this section. I find something I love. I mean, look at that stunning table. I would like to do that event for PartySlate. So anyone who wants to do it with me, reach out. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Nicole. Did that answer the question?
Yes. Yeah. That
okay. So. Okay, great. And then this is another, this is just an example of a stunning, free profile that we really like. So if you go down here, and again, we have this nice navigation that makes it really easy. So they have a beautiful, stunning, look, is that in Chicago on the bridge? It's a gorgeous cover photo. You have a nice overview section. We recommend 3 to 5 sentences, and we'll build a profile. We'll show you what that looks like. And then you come down here, they have 6 events in their gallery. All of them have between 40 and 100 photos. We suggest between 20 and 50 photos, but it's really up to you to have a curated section. And then they have a really beautiful filled out event professional and venue partners here. And then finally, one thing I'll say on free profiles, our premium members are also advertised on free profiles, and that's a very common practice for platforms such as Yelp and other platforms out there. So we want to be a consumer focused company. And if someone's looking for a planner or a photographer in this case, we're going to suggest other photographers in the area that they can consider. And so this is another way we elevate our premium members. Once you sign up for premium membership, those ads are wiped off of your profile page. And then finally, they have the contact section. So this is a really important section. It's very short and sweet. We've talked about adding more content, but we don't want too much friction. But we just ask them for their name, their event, type of event, the count, if you have a preferred date and a message. And again, that goes directly to you. And then we give the people that have premium membership a quarterly review of your analytics. And that's really important to us. We do have a 90% renewal rate. Of course, with the industry the way it is now, we're being very flexible and doing whatever we can to support the industry. But we have a very, very high renewal rate, which is great to see. So that is a kind of a review of a free and a premium profile. We always say if you don't know PartySlate yet, start with a free profile. If you need help, we can do it. But Nicole is going to show you how easy it is. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. How easy it is to share, to build a profile page. And if you need help, please reach out. We will help you. We can do this so quickly. We are happy to get you started, but we tried to make it even like my mom could build a profile page. I don't know if she could, but I really think we've made it very easy.
Before we get into,
so Nicole, why don't you, we're going to share your screen.
Nicole,
I need to,
Julie, there's a couple other questions that I think we can answer, and then we can dig into Nicole's. So there's a question around just, how big is our audience for, corporate and entertainment, and how can we, how can maybe a company be sure to promote their business for corporate events, for example? Yeah, so in normal times, when we're not in COVID, coronavirus, usually it's about 50% wedding and 50% other, which is corporate, mitzvah, gala, milestone events. And so now, because a lot of corporate is put on hold, I'd say corporate is about 20 or 30%, because people are still planning events for next year, and they're asking us for help with virtual events. We have a new virtual events landing page, and we're promoting all of the great companies in our community that now have virtual services or hybrid services. So my webinar last week, I don't even know when it was, is on the concept of having smaller in-person events and then actually having virtual attendees as well. And so I would say that's kind of the break of it. To promote your business, there's many ways. The first way is to start with a really rich built out profile page with a lot of content. And then the next way is to actually get a boosting package, which is our premium membership that gets you not only in the real events feed, but also in newsletters and other parts of our platform. So there's 2 ways you can do it. But the starting point is, we always say, just give us a chance, build out the profile, see how easy it is. And then if you want to learn more about additional exposure, we have about 150,000 unique users a month. We're not trying to be the biggest, but we want to be the best. And our traffic continues to grow after, of course, a dip due to COVID. It's coming back up again, which is good. That was perfect. Two more questions. So one, if someone is just getting started in their business and they don't really have, real event photos just yet, what can they highlight on their profile? Do you have recommendations on how
So if
they
you
can style?
Yeah, if you have photo shoots that you've done, I think that's something that you can get started with. We always say, if you've done events for free, many people do events for free to build their portfolio, you can include those photos. And so, I think you need to have at least one to three events to build a profile page. If you don't, it's really not going to work that well for you on PartySlate because it's all about photos. But I've seen many people, either leave a big company and start on their own and ask permission to use some photos from their last job, and they get that permission and they can do that. But I really think you need to build your portfolio to build your business. And so again, even if you just had 2 or 3 events to post, that would be a good starting point.
Yeah. And last one, I think Nicole can cover as she does her demo, is just there's a question if there's a way to link their own website from the PartySlate website.
Yes.
So,
Nicole's going to show you all the
yes,
good things.
I can
Nicole,
answer that question
Yeah.
and more. Okay. So
Okay, Nicole, do you want to share your screen?
Yes, I'm going to do that now.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Can everybody see me?
Yeah, so Nicole is going to walk you through kind of the play-by-play. You're on partyslate.com from the very beginning, how to apply for a free profile page, which is a 3-minute episode to do. Clicking on the 4 pros button, and once you click on the 4 pros, that's when we're
actually going to skip that. So we're going to go to the sign up button.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So you can just click this to sign up and apply for a company profile.
That's even faster.
Yes, even faster. And then first thing you're going to do is create a username.
Yeah, so this step, while Nicole's typing, because I know it's hard to talk and type, all you need to do is put your full name, your email address, and create a password. And then you're going to be registered for PartySlate. And then it's going to actually walk you through, are you an event professional or are you a venue? So an event professional obviously is a caterer, a planner, any non-venue category. We have over 15 categories on the site, so you can check out on the 4 Pros tab all the categories we have. We don't have fashion, jewelry, things like that. We're really focused, laser focused on all of the categories that it takes to really run and produce a large scale event. And these days, small scale as well. So you put in.
If a company is a hybrid event manager and a resource provider, is there a way to handle that, or how would you want them to proceed?
I'm going to have you take that question.
So I would say, so right now we have individuals, so we have some of our top categories. And so the best way to do is pick one or create multiple profiles right now is the best way to go. So you could create one for event planner. And I have to say, I'm not completely familiar with what a resource provider is, but we can probably get you more.
I mean, like a designer. So a lot of people are event planners. Yeah.
So then you could create one for design floral, and so you would have 2. And so from a consumer side, we know that their profiles, you want it to be kind of one thing that surfaces one complete thing. So we encourage you to create 2 profiles, and we can link them with your account and stuff. So when you log in, you can edit both, etc. from the back end.
Yeah.
Great. All right, back to you, Nicole. So you basically take 2 seconds to register. You pick your category. You put in your company name. Oh, I like the name of your company, Nicole.
Great.
And tell us what's next.
Yeah, so once you're here on the profile, then you can start editing and adding all of your content to the profile. So everything's under this easy edit company profile button. You just hover over this. So the first couple things we're going to do is add a cover photo and our company logo. So I'm just going to click this change, and then you'll see kind of the upload options there. I don't know if you can see this, but a screen will pop up to kind of.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
From your desktop. So you're just going to select that photo. And we recently added in, adding in a photographer credit for the photos, because credits are kind of very important everywhere on our site. So if you know the credit for the photographer who did that cover photo, you can just add that in. And I'm just going to put in his short name there, and then you can save that. So that is all good to go. We've got a cover photo, and the profile picture, it's up to you. You can either choose to put your logo in or a photo of you if you're a smaller company. so people can know who you are. So whatever you pick, and that is a square image. So whatever you're using for like Facebook or Instagram will work perfect in there. So you're just gonna select that. And there is my photo. And then the next step is your main details. So we're going to go into here, and this opens up a separate screen. So there's a lot of things in here for you to add, kind of the important stuff. So your contact information, your company URL. So I'm just going to put in some numbers here. Okay. And then a company description, which is super important, and I'll kind of let Julie talk about that while I.
Yeah, so for company description, we recommend 3 to 6 sentences. This is an opportunity to tell your story. I think it's, you can be in first person if you're a small company, or you can also just use your company description from your website. A couple paragraphs are great. Again, for SEO optimization, you can copy and paste. Sometimes Google doesn't like duplicative content from 2 places, so you can edit it slightly. But the key is just to give them a feel for, this is what I call your handshake, who you are, what you do, but also have your keywords loaded in there. So if you're a San Diego wedding planner, you're going to want to have San Diego wedding planner. You're really going to want to be very clear about what you do and who you are.
Yep. Cool. So I've got my description in there. We have other fields, like you can put how long you've been in business. We found that that's.
And that's totally up to you to put that in there. I've had some people say, I don't want them to know I've been doing this 30 years. I know there's ageist and, people discriminate. And some people are saying like, hey, I want them to know I didn't start last year and I really know what I'm doing. And so it's really up to you if you want to put the year founded, average response time, you can just keep filling this in, Nicole. I'll go through these. Average response time, we have found in our research that putting like 12 to 24 hours, just so they know when you're going to get back to them, is good. And then you can also have a spot for a video, so a welcome video where you can actually put just a cut and paste from YouTube or Vimeo for welcome. And then of course you want to put in all of your Facebook. Again, not many people are active on Twitter, but you can put Twitter, Instagram URL. And Chhavi, I'd love to add LinkedIn one of these days, but that's a feature request. She loves it when I do that. So these are the main sections of the About Us section. Nicole, did you want to jump into anything else?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Experiencing some technical difficulties.
Okay.
But
this is where we stretch things out. So normally it would take about 3 minutes to fill out the About section, but now we are going to reload it and start over. That's okay. So Nicole, we can see this. We can still see your screen.
Well, doing that, maybe we can take another question. There's around how do you know if people are interacting with like your photos or your profile or things like that? How can they get that information?
So number one, we're happy to jump on a call with you and go through your analytics and see if that's something you're interested in receiving on a regular basis. We do provide that for our premium members, so you can see exactly how many people viewed your profile, clicked to contact you, clicked on your phone number, saved a photo. We track every single thing on this profile page. And so we're happy to jump on a call with you and share your analytics with you. What I will say is if you haven't updated your profile in a long time and you don't have a lot of content, yes, you'll have some profile views, but the way that our platform works best is the more content you update and the more often you update it, the more you're going to be visible to consumers on our platform. So, and the higher your SEO ranking will be when people search for your name. So for example, Kehoe Designs, I am confident that PartySlate will be on the first page of Google when people search for their name. And they are going to go to your website. They're going to go to your Instagram, but they're going to do a stalking. We say 7 to 8 touch points before they contact you. So our goal is to have PartySlate be a really, really rich touch point and a full portfolio review, but also that network effect with all your partners. Okay, so Nicole, you're back.
Yes, we're back up. Okay, so just other things, like Julie was saying, you can add your social links and all of that. We have services. So depending on what type of professional that you are and you decide, we have different options here. So like as a planner, you can say if you do partial or destination, things of that nature. This is where you can add in your press and recognitions and URLs. Pricing, that's totally optional. If you don't fill that in, it'll just say request pricing. on the
Yeah,
site.
and so most people don't put in pricing, but if you want to qualify, so if you're a large scale venue and your minimum is 15,000 and you don't want people that have 2,000 to keep calling you, you can put your minimum and then put an event description of what that minimum includes. But many people just put request pricing.
Yeah, so now that that's all saved, that all appears here kind of just below the cover photo. And then the next thing we're going to do is add in an event to our profile.
So
So
adding the real event, so Nicole, while you're doing that, I can kind of explain it. Adding a real event is actually taking, let's say you have just in a fabulous, wedding or a corporate event, and you have kind of 30 to 50 photos that are in your highlight, the highlight photos. We don't suggest putting 100, 200 photos. It's just too much. You want to take those photos, and then really easily what Nicole did is she linked to a Dropbox. So it's easy to integrate with a Dropbox or a folder on your computer. And then you can you just scroll down just to show that the photos were pulled in. So you can see the photos were pulled in automatically from her computer. This is just a sample one. So we're just showing you how it works.
Yes.
And then you can add your credits. And so what Nicole is doing right now is typing in the event planner, the caterer, the venue, and we'll just add maybe 2 or 3 just to give you a feel for it. But this is where when you are in have a profile already, your name will automatically come up. So you don't have to type in all of these credits. It will automatically match for you, as you can see there.
Yes.
And then sometimes I forget to do this, but Nicole's great. Add your city and state. You want to add the name of your event. What we always say is use like SEO keywords and really descriptive words. So instead of saying Julie and Doug's wedding, say modern, all white wedding at the Four Seasons Chicago. Those are more likely to be found than Doug and Julie's wedding. You can add the setting, which is good for, again, search and SEO. If it's at was it a beach? Was it at a bar? Was there a theme? If you go to the theme, we just have high level themes. We're going to be adding more to this section soon. And then number of guests, again, it's optional, but sometimes people actually search and they want to look for small events. So you can add that. And then again, add the date. We don't show the date, but you're welcome to add the date if you would like. Just the year is fine and the month. And then really what we love, if you can pick a color scheme, so whether it's pink or green or blue, whatever, pick a couple colors. And then again, the setting, what the styles like boho, casual, country, preppy. I haven't seen many preppy events. So I don't know, Chhavi, if there's anything you want to add to this page or any questions?
Yeah, there's a question. So what happens if the name of whoever you're crediting doesn't show up or doesn't autofill?
Yeah, if it doesn't show up, all you have to do is type it in, and that will be an indication that they're not yet, either it was misspelled, which is okay, or they aren't in the PartySlate. We have about 11,000 registered event professionals and venues. So if they're not there within 3 to 4 months, or even better, you could invite them to create a profile page. We can just go back and activate that list. We have an automatic kind of program that goes back every once in a while to see if people are now on PartySlate when it was unlinked. But Nicole and her team are great at once a month taking all of those credits that aren't linked and then saying, hey, you've been credited by so-and-so, would you like a free profile page so we can activate your credit link? And the response has been very high for that.
Yeah. The only other thing is the description. So we've added that in here.
Yeah. And for the event description, Nicole, I know you're always good at, telling people that, this is something people often skip. They're like, oh, I don't want to write the event description. I'm too busy. Have one person on your event team write a short event description. Maybe it's the event planner, maybe it's the decor company, and just ask them, like, if you're the photographer and you don't know the full story of the event, you could get them to write it for you. Or you can just write, a little bit about the setting, what you loved about the event, and then maybe something about the client that you worked with. This is such a good SEO opportunity because Google they can see some photos, they have image recognition, but it's really, really important to have those event descriptions as well. And again, that's something we encourage you to do, but if you don't have time to do that, make it a very good title and headline. That will be a great way to invite people in.
Yeah. And then there are other things, so you can add more photos if you want. You can rearrange the photos. So that first image that you select right now is the cover photo. So if you want something different to be the cover, you can kind of just drag and drop those and save, and then that'll change what the cover image will be.
Now I see what event this is. This was our training event at Italy in Chicago that we did probably 3 years ago. So that's awesome.
A long time ago. So I just pulled some photos from that. So then you're going to save and publish. And if you're not ready to publish it, you can always save as a draft and come back later. But once you're kind of ready to publish that, just save and publish. And then it just shows you what the event looks like on the profile.
And again, we recommend, 20 to 40 photos. And if you want to do more, 50, 60, that's great. You don't need to do 100. I'm guessing if you have 100, there's some what I call near duplicates, which you don't need, that are almost the same. And again, some people only put 10, the 10 best photos. It's really up to you. This is a storytelling platform, and do what you think best tells your story of that event. In our research, we have found that people have an insatiable appetite for photos. So you may think you're oversharing, but people like to see the details and like to see what happened from the beginning to the end.
Yeah. And then
Chhavi, more questions?
Yeah, one for you. So if you have a premium account, can you have more than one profile page for different categories, or how does that work?
Say that again.
So if you have a premium membership and you have more than one profile page for different categories.
Yes, we have a small add-on fee for additional profiles if you want all of those boosted. If you want free profiles for the additional, just the standard profile, then there isn't any charge for that. But if you have 2 or 3 business lines, we have a small additional monthly fee, just because it takes our customer success team more time to manage 3 profiles versus 1. But it's not like it's triple the amount, it's just an additional add-on fee. So we're happy to walk you through that. And again, we know that it's tough time for the industry, and it is a time to build your digital brand, and it is a time not to do the $10,000 website redesign. So if we can help you build your brand and build your network through a premium membership, we would love to do that. If not, if the timing isn't right, just really get engaged with your free profile. That's a really great way to get your content out there.
Yeah. Okay. So other things that you can do with the free profile, you can add videos. So I'll show you how to do that. So we just have this video page here. So you can give your video a title, and I'm just going to grab my URL.
Yeah, so for videos, we recommend 3 to 6 videos just to get started. If you don't have any videos, obviously for videographers and entertainment, we recommend much, much more than that. But if you're a planner or caterer, I know you guys have access to these amazing recap videos from your events. This is a section that's really highly engaged with, so it's a great way to show your work in action. And so that's an example. So this was the video, or a video, from that Italy event that we had a few years ago, and it plays right there. And then you can also create albums. That's something we haven't talked about. So a lot of people are creating photo albums, which are kind of like, we won't add those today, but like a montage collection of, here's all my mitzvahs, here's all my weddings, here's all my corporate events, or even things like wedding aisles I love, or meet the team. I know that's coming up, but some people have used that section for that. So there's a lot of different ways. We tried to make it as flexible as possible so you can really tell the story of your company.
Yeah. And then the other thing for free profiles that we touched on before is the FAQs. So for adding that, we have some kind of default options based on your category that we've just developed through research and searching and things. So you can select from one of these, or you can type in your own question if you'd like to. And so I'm just going to select a question as an example here, and then you'll type in your answer into this box. And once you're done with that, click done, and that will show up in your FAQ section on the profile.
Yeah, so we have that nice navigation bar across the top that is a really easy way to drop people right to your gallery, to FAQs, or your contact box.
Yeah.
So I have to give a shout out again to our product team. We literally launched 4 new features in the last 2 months during isolation and working on Zooms all day. So I have to give our tech and product and design team a big shout out, because they've been working very hard for you guys. And so FAQs just launched, announcement just launched, multiple cover photos, unlimited credit events just launched. So we have a lot more things coming. But that's really kind of the basic view of building a profile. If you are a venue, which we don't have time to go into, there'll be an additional step for adding event spaces. And so maybe Nicole, you could just show, unless you have more to show.
No,
will you
that's
mind
it.
showing? Just show one venue page that shows the venue sections, because we at the product team also just redesigned that section of the site that actually shows not just a list of spaces and capacity, but actually the photos from that space, from that section. So here's the 4 seasons, and then each event space has an image and multiple photos underneath it of that space and the capacity. So what we found, again, we're very research nerd people over here in our research, that the photos are really what people are looking for and the videos. And so as visual as we can make it, the better it can be. So that was a great change too.
Yeah.
So great. Anything else, Nicole? Chhavi, go ahead. You're on mute, Chhavi.
I was going to say, I'm glad you covered that. There was a question in the chat that I explained, but visually being able to see event spaces and the value of it, I'm glad we got to cover that.
Okay, good. See, I didn't even see that. I was reading their mind. Yeah, the venue pages are very, very popular. I'd say our top popular categories: venue, planners, decor, caterers, missing something, entertainment. What else am I missing? Those are our top pages, but again, all of the categories get them. Okay, so maybe Nicole, you can stop sharing your screen, and then okay, great. And then Chhavi, as I go to share my screen, going back to the presentation, let me know if there's anything else. Oh, great. Now I have a messy page. Going back to the presentation, we talked a little bit about kind of, the best practices, how to build a profile. We came up with this fun little kind of way to score your profile that we'll send out to you. And so we have one for the free profile and then one for the premium profile. And so our customer success team is going to be working with our premium members on this. But for the free profile, it's really easy to just fill in, like, here's how many points you can get. So 1 for the cover photo, 1 for the having your photo, your logo, having 5+ sentences in your about section. And so, for example, on this one, I just scored a sample one really quickly. They have a 32% complete. And so if they were just to add, a few more of these sections, you can see how quickly adding a featured video, adding 10, maybe a few more events, let's get it up to 10, how quickly your score can go up. And the higher your score, the more you're going to be featured on PartySlate. So it's kind of built into our algorithm, because to be honest, we don't want to send people to incomplete profiles. So that's one thing that's important to us, is we want a really great user experience. And so we want to make sure we're sending people to built out profiles. And it doesn't have to be 100%, but we really want your profile to be at least 60, 70%. And for those really competitive people like me, you're going to want to get 100%. And it's not that easy. I mean, it's not that hard to get to 100%. LinkedIn does that. And I'm like, oh my God, I only have 50% on my LinkedIn profile. And like within an hour, I was at 100%. So this is just a little algorithm or little scoring system you can do. And then as far as your engagement score, we would love for you to upload photos once a month. We know you're busy, but to put in a half hour in your calendar for either an intern or you do it yourself once a month, that would be great. If you could do it once a quarter, that's great. Once a year, that kind of says to us, you're not that engaged. Maybe we're not doing our job keeping you up to date on how valuable the profile is and what new things you can do. And if you never uploaded photos, and some people say, oh, I created it 3 years ago, I don't really know what it is. You're definitely not going to see the value out of PartySlate. So, help us help you to get this working for you. We do have over 800,000 photos. It's growing really fast, and our traffic's growing as well. So we would love for you to be part of our community. And so that's how you get your engagement score. So that was just something to show you some of the things that impact, how you're featured, in addition to our premium membership. So unless there's more questions, I'll talk about what's next, because I know we're out of time. Chhavi, any other questions that I didn't answer?
Not yet. I'll just say in the chat, as Julie's kind of covering what's upcoming, we'd also love to hear from you guys. I know a couple of people already suggested some things, but if there's other topics that you really want us to cover, other things you're curious about how to navigate PartySlate, or anything that Nicole or Julie shared today that we didn't cover, please add that in the chat, and we'll definitely keep that in mind and collect that for future sessions on top of what Julie's about to share, what's upcoming.
Yeah, absolutely. And so again, Nicole showed you probably the easier way to sign up, but you can also go to the 4 Pros tab and either sign up for a free, apply for a free profile or learn about our premium membership. Either way you want to go. Upcoming masterclass topics that we've brainstormed about are how to use idea slates. It's a really great way for event professionals and consumers to save and organize not only their ideas, but their favorite venues, their favorite event planners. SEO strategies. You guys know I like to geek out about SEO and how you can use your profile page for SEO. Using PartySlate as a sales tool. Many of you have told us how you do that. We have some great techniques for that. And then how we drive traffic to PartySlate. That's another question we get a lot. We want to show you the ins and outs of how we use social, editorial, SEO, and PR to get people into the PartySlate kind of funnel, so to speak. As Chhavi says, we would love your ideas, not only on master classes, but ideas for making our platform better and more useful for you. We get a lot of great feedback, but we also have constructive criticism. That helps us get better. If you didn't give that to us, we can't continue to improve what we're doing. We're very passionate about this industry, about helping people right now with digital education. And we want this to get more and more valuable for you, whether it's a free profile or one of our premium memberships. So our next digital event is on Tuesday next week, and we are opening up the PartySlate platform for many of the local coalition leaders that are lobbying government and really helping to stay on top of the state of reopening, or I know some places are closing again, but really getting a seat at the table with local government. So we're going to have leaders from California, from Chicago, from DC, and from New York that are going to be joining us to talk all about the state of the industry and also how you can help. I think the events industry is often a forgotten industry when it comes to government. The hotels have their associations, restaurants do, but the event association and our voice needs to be heard louder. And so I'm really proud that so many people have stepped up to make that happen. So that will be on Tuesday. Any last questions, Chhavi, or any last thoughts, Nicole?
There was one question around, just Nicole answered, but just so everyone, we make sure everyone sees it. People were just asking, can they rewatch this session, and will a recording of this be shared afterwards?
Yes, so we record all our digital events and we put them all on a landing page. We'll send you the link to it. When we send kind of our thank you email after this, we'll put a link to the recording that you can send to anyone at any time. And then we're also on our monthly master classes. And again, maybe we'll do them every 2 weeks, not to scare you guys if people want them, but we're planning on once a month. If there are any topics or any things that you want us to repeat on the next one, we can do that as well. But this is recorded. You don't need to do any screenshots. We will send all this to you and make it very easy for you to get started. That's all I have. So I wanted to thank everyone. Shout out to Nicole, one of our, again, early employees. I always say, Nicole, one day you're going to run a company, you're going to run PartySlate. You are amazing. She's worn every hat at the company. And I know she just lives our core values, and I'm just proud to work with you, Nicole. So thank you for all your hard work. And Chhavi joined us. How long ago, Chhavi?
Been a year and a half now.
Feels like I was going to say over a year, and she came in charging hard, organizing, getting stuff launched faster, really being the advocate for our customers and our consumers, and really working day in, day out to make this product amazing. So thank you, Chhavi, for all of your hard work as well, and for joining me on your first PartySlate webinar.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Nicole and Chhavi. Thank you for everyone who joined. Loved all your questions. We will send you out the recording, and hopefully we'll see many of you on Tuesday next week. Thank you so much.